Street Series slip-on for the Ninja. Yosh, for a long time now, has worked really hard to offer exhaust products that are not only closed course compliant, but also street compliant, that adhere to the emission laws that are out there in most areas, okay? Please read all the documentation to fully understand it. But with this Alpha T slip-on, this is a street legal piece. You can slide it on the bike. You can lose about 3.3 pounds in weight, okay? Improve your exhaust note. We're gonna let you hear the exhaust note with the sound insert installed and with it removed. If you wanna be fully compliant, okay, because remember noise regulations too, best practice is to leave the insert installed. There is quite a spread in the sound of this with this in and with it out. I think it sounds really good with the insert installed. It's a whole hell of a lot louder once the insert's removed. So listen to both and make the determination what works best for you. This comes in Yoshimura's Works finish. They came up with a finish for the pipes that is gonna mimic titanium. Once this has had enough heat cycles through it, the pipes will start to color up a little bit. Color changing is normal with this, okay? And everyone is going to color a little bit differently too, so make it unique in the end. So expect this to change colors a little bit. I'm going to show you how to clean this after the install. It's very important you do that before you start your motorcycle. If you don't, you're going to burn a bunch of fingerprints into it and you're going to be super pissed, okay? So make sure you follow that part of the video right to the letter. They also offer a full system with this same canister. And with the full system in that Works finish, you're really gonna pick up a lot more of that coloration with the pipe. The full system, of course, is designed for closed course operation only, which would mean racetrack use, okay? What you decide to do with it when you get it, well, that's up to you, but it's really important up front that you understand it. This is street compliant. You can use this on the road and you're gonna remain within the current emission laws, okay? It looks good, sounds a whole hell of a lot better, and you remain compliant. Before we begin the exhaust install, let's start with our stock exhaust note. The 400's warmed up and ready to go. There it is at idle. So as you would expect, that is pretty tame. Okay, first thing we need to do is remove this trim panel here. Got a 4mm down there. And then we have a standard hose clamp. From there you slide this forward, okay? You can see that tongue right there slides into the heat shield. That clamp holds this on by capturing this and snugging the clamp up. Super simple stuff. Okay, now the mounting bolt. Always keep all your stock hardware if you don't reuse it during the install. It's always handy to have that stuff down the road. I like to keep all of the hardware removed from the bikes and suggest you do the same thing. Pull that out. Got a 12mm socket now on the T-handle. Go ahead and loosen up that stock clamp. And then go ahead and remove the stock muffler. Okay, now we're going to install the Yoshimura Alpha Street Series slip-on the STG Ninja 400. This is going to keep you emission compliant, okay? So this will be road legal, part of their Street Series. So for riders who are looking for that, you want to get rid of that ugly stock exhaust can, a little better exhaust note, okay? This is a great option. The can, carbon end cap, Works finish sleeve. It's going to come with their noise insert installed. That is removable. In order to remove that, you have to pull this, undo this fastener, and then slide out the insert. And the shape of this can that we have here, I was not able to slip it in from the outside. I had to have the can off and slide it in from this direction. So it's important to note that. Our first sound clips are going to be with the insert installed in the can. This ships complete with a mid pipe, a barrel clamp, one exhaust spring, sticker sheet, and a tool to help install the exhaust spring. This is a really simple install. How I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna start by sliding that mid pipe into the can. I'm gonna line up the two hoops for the spring. I'm gonna go ahead and install the spring into the first loop, and then use the spring tool and hook it over the mid pipe. Like so. So that's the first step that I'm going to take. Now, I've got the barrel clamp already slid over the mid pipe. We'll slip this over the OE header. Like so. And let's get this lined up. OE fastener. Notice this is mounting outboard on the passenger peg. Slide that in like that. Put the nut on the other side. And just give this just a little push to make it sure it's on there as far as we can get it to go. Okay. We'll tighten up the bracket back here that mounts it to the motorcycle. This would not be a bad idea, a bad place to use a little thread locker. Considering this is a project bike and this thing comes apart and goes back together continuously, I do not always use thread locker. I don't usually use a torque wrench. If you want factory torque, all the specs are available online. Very simple, grab your torque wrench and use that now. Okay, now the barrel clamp. You know, find an aesthetically pleasing position for this, and you want to have it somewhere near the end. Kind of rotate it around until you feel that it looks the best. Got a 5mm internal hex. I'm going to use a T-handle. And what I like to do is put enough torque on it. You don't need to go crazy because these are really strong, a lot of clamping force. I like to rotate it and see if I have any movement left here. I do, just a little bit. So what we'll do is I'm going to tighten that just a little bit more until I've eliminated that. Okay, that is good and tight. Now, very important, before you start the motorcycle, we need to make sure we clean off the can and all associated pipes, okay? Your fingerprints contain oil. When that oil is on the metal surfaces, if you start it and put heat into the pipe before cleaning it, what's going to happen is it's going to burn in there, it's going to discolor, and it's really not going to look great, okay? So don't do anything. I know you're excited, you want to start it, don't. Rubbing alcohol is what we're going to use for this particular finish. I'm going to clean this thoroughly. And remember, part of the attraction with this new Works finish from Yosh is the way it discolors like titanium. It's going to look badass, okay? Discoloration is normal. What you don't want to see is you don't want to see your fingerprints all over this pipe, okay? Because that is not going to look great. So wipe it all. Don't be afraid to wipe the OE header a little bit too, the stainless header, okay, if you're doing the slip-on. And once I get it cleaned, we're going to start the bike. and check out how it sounds with, remember, with the sound insert installed. Okay, I've got the motor warm, and now we're gonna let you hear the exhaust note with the sound insert installed. Not bad. That's definitely pretty aggressive, and that sound I would say is unique compared to the others that we've done so far. I'm gonna let it cool off just a little bit. We're gonna slide the can off, pull the insert out, and let you hear it without the insert installed. Okay, now I have the insert removed, and we're gonna start the bike and hear what it sounds like. No insert. You can clearly hear that there is a substantial difference between the two, okay? The slip-on, when it comes, it's gonna come with the insert. It sounds really good with that in, and oftentimes too, what you'll find is some of these lower displacement bikes actually make better power with the insert installed in the can, but you have both examples. You can choose which one you wanna do before you begin your project. It would save you from having to remove the insert after the fact if that's really what you wanna do. Yosh makes a great product. You look at the quality of the manufacturing. I mean, this looks really good, okay? It's a good looking canister, the Alpha. As this goes through some heat cycles, it's gonna get some cool coloring in it and such. That really pops if you have the full system, so you'll see it in the tubing, and we are gonna have a full system video as well. What we're focusing on right now is just that Street Series slip-on on our 2018 STG Kawasaki Ninja 400.